This video is part of a Google Form quiz that teachers can assign to their students for homework. After the students submit their answers, then they can play a video like this one to see the answer explained. We've made more than 100 quizzes as Google Forms with free access videos, which teachers are welcome to copy for free. To get access to these, please see the link in the description. This video is based on a question from an actual state exam. You may have one like this on your state exam. If you've not already watched the video on an introduction to coordinates, then we suggest that you watch that video before watching this one. The water level in a pond is measured and recorded over several weeks. Select a graph that matches the data. This is a table. Each row of the table shows an ordered pair that tells us where to graph one point. Sometimes each ordered pair is called a point's coordinates. This table has coordinates for 5 different points. For each point, the number on the left is the number of the week. The number on the right is the water depth. Here's the grid that we'll use to plot these 5 points. Each arrow is called an axis. This bottom arrow is called the week axis. It's like a number line. We've colored the numbers green since they go with the green numbers in the table. The left arrow is called the water depth axis. It's also like a number line. We've colored the numbers brown since they go with the brown numbers in the table. The zigzag line means that many numbers are missing between 0 and 20.0. We often use a zigzag line when we want to just focus on a specific range of numbers. In this case, we want to focus on water depth that is between 20.0 and 20.5 feet. Let's plot the purple point. The purple point has a week value of 1. We'll circle the number 1 on the week axis. Then, we'll highlight the entire line that has a value of 1 week. The purple point has a water depth value of 20.2 feet. We'll circle the number 20.2 on the water depth axis. Then, we'll highlight the entire line that has a water depth value of 20.2. Next, we find the place where these 2 highlighted lines cross. That place is where the purple point goes. Let's plot the pink point. The pink point has a week value of 2. We'll circle the number 2 on the week axis. Then, we'll highlight the entire line that has a value of 2 weeks. The pink point has a water depth value of 20.0 feet. We'll circle the number 20.0 on the water depth axis. Then, we'll highlight the entire line that has a value of 20.0. Next, we find the place where these 2 highlighted lines cross. That place is where the pink point goes. Let's plot the blue point. The blue point has a week value of 3. We'll circle the number 3 on the week axis. Then, we'll highlight the entire line that has a value of 3 weeks. The blue point has a water depth value of 20.1 feet. We'll circle the number 20.1 on the water depth axis. Then, we'll highlight the entire line that has a water depth value of 20.1. Next, we find the place where these 2 highlighted lines cross. That place is where the blue point goes. Let's plot the yellow point. The yellow point has a week value of 4. We'll circle the number 4 on the week axis. Then, we'll highlight the entire line that has a value of 4 weeks. The yellow point has a water depth value of 20.5 feet. We'll circle the number 20.5 on the water depth axis. Then, we'll highlight the entire line that has a water depth value of 20.5. Next, we find the place where these 2 highlighted lines cross. That place is where the yellow point goes. Let's plot the brown point. The brown point has a week value of 5. We'll circle the number 5 on the week axis. Then, we'll highlight the entire line that has a value of 5 weeks. The brown point has a water depth value of 20.4 feet. We'll circle the number 20.4 on the water depth axis. Then, we'll highlight the entire line that has a water depth value of 20.4. Next, we find the place where these 2 highlighted lines cross. That place is where the brown point goes. Now we can connect the dots. We start on the left and move to the right. This is our completed graph. It shows all of the points plotted on the grid. Let's return to the question. We'll put a picture of our graph on the screen. Choice C looks the same as our graph. Choice C is correct. Thanks for your attention.